Before you hit play, take a moment to get ready because what you are about to hear will utterly surprise you. The final net worth of former U.S. President Jimmy Carter is wildly disproportionate to his true riches. His story is unusual, even if you think you already know the worth of a former president. Follow me through to the finish as we explore the life of one of the most humble, honest, and hard-working presidents and what his total wealth says about the values he espoused. Former presidents are usually linked to lavish homes, vast fortunes, and expensive lives. In the end, several former presidents have earned millions of dollars through book sales, speaking engagements, and business ventures. But the story of Jimmy Carter is different. Despite becoming the 39th President of the United States, Carter chose to lead a straightforward, modest, and selfless life. His life's purpose during and after his presidency was to change the world, not to amass wealth. His eventual riches is therefore quite surprising. Jimmy Carter grew up in poverty. He was born in 1924 in a little Georgian village and grew up in a modest home. His father was a farmer and dealer while his mother worked as a nurse. Despite their struggles, the Carters were able to make ends meet. This early upbringing helped shape Jimmy Carter's values, which he would carry with him throughout his life. His integrity, diligence, and commitment to helping others were the cornerstones of his character. Even after becoming one of the most powerful people in the world, he never lost sight of his origins. After serving in the U.S. Navy, Carter returned to his hometown of Plains, Georgia, to assume control of the family's peanut plantation. The farm wasn't doing well at first, but Carter's tenacity and wise financial decisions helped. Despite some financial success with the property, Carter was grounded. He was driven not by wealth or luxury, but by a sense of duty and a desire to make a difference in the world. Such thought would influence his presidency and ultimately his post-presidential life. When Carter was elected president in 1977, his top priorities were peace, the environment, and human rights. He was not interested in self-interest or showy appearances. Carter was infamous for not leading a lavish lifestyle, even while he was in the White House. His direct manner and frequent use of simple attire set him apart from other world leaders. While some criticized him for his humble demeanor, others applauded him for remaining true to his heritage. What was even more surprising, though, was the way he lived after leaving the government. Unlike many of his predecessors who went on to earn millions of dollars, Carter selected a very different choice. Instead of making a fortune, he dedicated his life to serving the people. While working with Habitat for Humanity to construct homes for the poor, he persisted in advocating for human rights throughout the world. He also founded the Carter Center, an organization devoted to promoting democracy, preventing disease, and promoting peace. Because he prioritized service over self-interest, Carter invested a great deal of time, energy, and resources in these endeavors. Now, let's talk about his financial situation. One could ask what Jimmy Carter's actual net worth is. After all, he was a president, a writer, a farmer, and a public servant. Over the years, he must have accumulated a large wealth. The shocking fact is that, in comparison to previous presidents, Carter's net worth is incredibly modest. At the time, Jimmy Carter's estimated net worth was $10 million. Though it's a small fraction of what other former presidents have been worth. Most people would consider that to be a lot. For example, Bill Clinton and Barack Obama have made tens of millions of dollars, more money from book sales and speaking appearances. Due to his business empire, even Donald Trump has a much higher net worth. So why is Carter's wealth so much lower? The answer lies in the choices he makes. Big book deals and costly speaking engagements didn't appeal to Carter. Instead, he focused on giving back to his neighborhood and the globe. He continued to live in the modest house in Plains, Georgia, that he had built himself in 1961. While other former presidents moved into lavish mansions, Carter and his wife, Rosalind, lived a simple life in their little town. He doesn't live in an upscale home. In actuality, its value is lower than that of comparable premium cars. But for Carter, acting on his moral convictions was more important than maintaining appearances. Carter's modest sense of self-worth also reflects his philosophy in living a life of service. He didn't anticipate financial success following his election as president. Rather, he regarded it as an opportunity to improve the situation. Even after leaving the administration, he continued to work hard for issues he believed in. Whether it was overseeing elections in developing countries or building houses with Habitat for Humanity, Carter never stopped working to make the world a better place. One of the most touching aspects of the narrative is how Carter has always put people first. Instead of pursuing fame or fortune, he sought to help those in need. His life is proof that the real test of success is not how much money you have in your bank account, but rather how you affect other people. His total net worth is therefore extremely noteworthy. Its inherent value is more significant than its monetary value. Carter remained true to these principles into his older years. At 95, he was still building homes for Habitat for Humanity. He proved that no matter your age, social standing, or financial situation, you can always give back. Rather than wealth or status, his legacy is one of kindness, compassion, and a lifelong commitment to service. It's important to think about what matters most as we get to the end of our examination of Jimmy Carter's life and fortune. Carter's experience teaches us that life is about more than just money prosperity. What matters is making the most of your time, abilities, and resources to make a difference. Carter had the option to live a life of service, rather than choosing a different path that would have earned him millions more dollars. And everything changed when that choice was made. Thus, remember that Jimmy Carter's estimated $10 million final net worth does not truly reflect his personal value. His influence goes well beyond monetary gain. It's a custom of integrity, giving, and a commitment to helping others. And from it, we may all learn and be inspired. Thank you for listening as I tell you about Jimmy Carter's incredible life and surprising wealth. His tale is a powerful reminder that true riches is not based on material gain, but rather on the influence you have on the world and the lives of others. His tale ought to serve as a reminder that even the smallest acts of compassion can have a profound effect that lasts for generations.